Welcome back to the Sailor Academy. My name is Jameel Armstrong. One of the most recognizable rates in the United States Navy is the SO rate, which is commonly referred to as a Special Warfare Operator, aka the Navy SEALs. Why would you even want to become a Navy SEAL? What do those cool guys that you've probably seen in every action movie actually do? Aren't those the guys that killed Osama bin Laden years back? Don't worry, I'll answer all those questions that you probably have swirling in your brain. But before I do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, as I'm about to dive into how to become a United States Navy SEAL. What are the Navy SEALs? Just a quick little rundown on what the Navy SEALs actually are. The acronym SEAL stands for Sea, Air, and Land. These are the three frontiers that these warriors will be performing their operations on. Training is extremely demanding, both mentally and physically. I mean, you would kind of expect that in order to produce the best warriors that the world has ever seen. Navy SEALs conduct surgical military actions while being assigned to small tactical units with very unique capabilities. They conduct direct action and reconnaissance missions in support of counter-terror operations. All SEALs are trained to provide combat trauma medical support during all operations. SEAL-trained Special Operations Medical Technicians receive additional specialized medical training. Among the SEALs' main functions are conducting small unit special operation missions in maritime, jungle, urban, Arctic, mountainous, and desert environments. SEALs are also typically ordered to kill or capture high-level targets or to gather intelligence behind enemy lines. SEALs are hand-selected, highly trained, and possess a high degree of proficiency in unconventional warfare and among other tasks like sabotage, demolition, intelligence gathering, and advising friendly militaries or other forces. In short, don't fuck with these guys. Qualifications. To be the best man on the job, you have to be the best qualified. It sucks. Not all people are created equal, and not everybody makes the cut. That's just an unfortunate fact of life. Anyways, we got that out of the way. Here are some of the basic qualifications that you would need to adhere to in order to qualify as a Navy SEAL. Applications are accepted from men who are 28 years old or less. You may request an age waiver if you are between the ages of 29 to 30. However, age waivers are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. If you are 17, you may enlist with a signature from a parent. If you have a previous Navy SEAL experience and would like to become an officer, you are eligible to up to age 33. SEALs must also have under 20/70 vision, and it must be correctable to 20/25 vision. The worst that an eye can be is 20/70, while the best is 20/40. Also, any type of color blindness will automatically disqualify you from becoming a SEAL. One must be a native-born or naturalized United States citizen and must speak, read, and write English fluently. Most SEAL qualifiers start this process when in depth, so they're already admitted into the BUDS training pipeline. I'll talk a little bit more about BUDS later. You can also volunteer for the SO rate in Navy boot camp, where they'll do an in-depth physical examination and medical screening to ensure that you are fully capable of BUDS. Finally, you can volunteer for the SO rate anytime before your 29th birthday. Enlisting for the rate. Now that we got that portion out of the way, let's talk about the enlistment process for becoming a Navy SEAL. For the most part, it'll be the same as enlisting for any other rate in the United States Navy. However, there are just a couple tweaks and differences that I'm going to briefly touch upon. It's important to tell your recruiter that you want a SEAL challenge contract. If you do enlist in the United States Navy and then decide to become a SEAL, you don't get that $12,000 SEAL sign-on bonus. You'll get a bonus, but it just won't be as steep. When visiting the recruiter, take with you your birth certificate, your social security card, a 10-year history of where you lived and worked, 3 references with names, phone numbers, and addresses, and the names and addresses of people who can verify that information. If all goes well, the Navy recruiter will put you in touch with the Regional Naval Special Warfare Special Operations Mentor. They will help you train for your PST, your physical screening test. Don't forget that, you're gonna hear that a lot. They will also give you your DEP qualifying PST. As most of you already know, you will also be required to take the ASVAB in order to join the military. To even qualify for the SEALs program, you'll want an AFQT score of 78 or better. Once you get to MEPS, you'll take your ASVAB, get a physical, which deals with vision, hearing, range of motion, drug testing, medical history, all that jazz, and get a background screening. You will then be told whether or not you qualify to become a SEAL. If you don't qualify for SO, you will then need to sign the contract, taking any other job classification that you do qualify for. After you take your PST and pass, you'll start your SEAL training instead. To say this test is hard is severely an understatement. I don't think that you need me to tell you that this SEAL training is probably one of the most difficult trainings that the Navy has to offer. And also the dropout rate is pretty high, so I would prepare for the worst. Becoming a SEAL. Now that you signed your Navy contract and taken the PST, you are now allowed to receive a SEAL contract. Your Special Warfare Special Operations Mentor will help you along this process. If all is fine, you will then be reclassified into the SEAL program and a new contract must be signed. There is another PST you must take 2 weeks prior to SEAL boot camp in order to keep your contract. If you don't pass PST 1 or 2 or any other future PST, you will be taken off the SEAL pipeline and put into another area of the Navy. Go to the SEAL Prep School in Great Lakes, Illinois. Here you'll have another initial PST and a closing PST. It's essentially boot camp times 10 difficulty. This portion lasts for about 8 weeks. If you make it through, you'll be shipped off to BUDS in Coronado, California. If you don't, you'll be placed into another division of the Navy. BUDS. If you ever watched at least one Jocko Willing podcast, you probably heard of the acronym BUDS. That stands for Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL. It is a 24-week challenge that will develop you into a mental and physical machine. Each week, you'll be required to show sufficient improvement. Because of its nature, only 25% of applicants make it to the end. BUDS includes 3 phases. Phase 1 is basic conditioning. It focuses on mental and physical ability. Phase 2 covers underwater skills such as combat swimming and scuba diving. Phase 3 on San Clemente Island will teach weapons, demolitions, and navigational skills, as well as basic small unit tactics. During the first 3 weeks of BUDS, you will go through a process called orientation. It will introduce you to the instructors and a lifestyle to be expected. You'll get a sense of the training and be prepared to begin the first real phase. You'll be doing things such as drown proofing, where you have to swim with either your legs or hands bound, and surf torture, where you're exposed to cold water for minutes on end, ordered to do calisthenics, and possibly even run miles in your cold, wet clothes. The next 7 weeks is commonly referred to as the physical conditioning phase. It's where most drops on request, or DOR, get filed. Those activities mentioned before happen during this stage as well, along with running 4 miles in boots, 2-mile swims in the ocean, participating in timed obstacle courses, and learning small boat seamanship. 4th week of this basic conditioning is affectionately known as Hell Week. You'll be training for 5.5 days continuously with 4 hours of sleep total. God damn. This is the ultimate test of your physical and mental motivation. You will learn that you can do 100 times more than you thought you could ever do and learn how to depend on your team. If you make it through this torturous week, you'll spend 3 weeks gladly making surveys, charts, and being more academic. During the combat diving portion of BUDS, you'll be trained as an efficient combat swimmer. The second phase of this portion concentrates on scuba skills as well as some medical skills. Then, 7 weeks after that, you'll be trained in basic weapons, demolitions, and small unit tactics, with the last half on San Clemente Island. But your initial training will still be put to use, so you'll need to run, swim, and negotiate the obstacle course even faster than before. You'll also be doing some more sophisticated land navigation, patrolling techniques, rappelling, marksmanship, and military explosives. After BUDS, you will then begin parachute jump school. Having made it through a BUDS, you'll be taken to do static line and free fall training at Tactical Air Operations in San Diego, California. It's another 26 weeks honing your mental and physical prowess. You'll be taking this time learning TTPs, that's also referred to as tactics, techniques, and procedures, and you'll also be put through cold weather survival, marine operations, advanced combat swimming, close quarter combat, and land warfare training. Getting the Navy SEAL Trident. After graduating from SQT, you are finally a Navy SEAL worthy of your crown. Congratulations, you can finally take a nap. However, the training isn't over. You'll get advanced training and eventually get assigned to a SEAL team. Whew, that was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to check out some of my other videos on the channel if you are interested in joining the military. If you guys haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me.